Hello everyone! Today we'll be showing you how to mount your embroidery so it's ready for framing. This is a very traditional and secure method of mounting, and it will help ensure your embroidery lasts for many years. For this technique you will need a mounting board, a cutting mat, calico, the embroidery you wish to mount, paper, fabric scissors, plenty of pins, buttonhole or cotton perle thread, a ruler, a pencil, PVA glue, a mellor if you have one, and a sandpaper block. First, determine the dimensions of your finished piece. Use a few sheets of paper to mark out a border around your embroidery, choosing proportions that suit the piece visually. With a ruler, measure the distance around the border and ensure each side is even. For our piece, we're leaving a border approximately 4 centimeters. Next, measure the width and height of your embroidery. Add your desired border measurement to each side to determine the final dimensions. In our case, the embroidery measures 14 centimeters by 19 centimeters. Adding roughly 4 centimeter borders brings the final dimensions to about 22 by 27. Using your ruler, mark out these final dimensions twice on your mounting board so you have 2 rectangles measuring 22 by 27 centimeters. With a ruler and scalpel, carefully cut along these lines. Keep the blade perpendicular to the board to ensure straight edges. Hold the 2 boards together to check they're exactly the same size, and trim if necessary. Apply a generous layer of glue to one board and spread it evenly with a brush. Place the second board on top and press firmly. Put something heavy on top and leave this to dry completely. This may take a few hours. Once dry, test the strength of the board. It may be slightly more flexible in one direction, but it should feel sturdy overall. Trim any uneven edges so the sides are straight and flush. Then, use a sandpaper block to smooth the edges. Place a piece of calico on your table and center the mounting board on top, leaving several centimeters of excess fabric all the way around. You'll trim this later. Apply a line of glue along one edge of the board, about 2.5 centimeters in from the edge and stopping about 2.5 centimeters from each corner. Spread the glue evenly with a brush. Fold the calico over the edge and press it into the glue. Secure the glue and calico with pins. Insert each pin at about a 45-degree angle with the head facing the edge of the board, catching the fabric. Then rotate the pin so it angles inwards at 45 degrees. This helps to pull the calico tightly around the board. Place pins every 1 or 2 centimeters along the glue. Repeat this process on the opposite side and allow it to dry completely. Trim the calico at a 45-degree angle towards each corner, cutting slightly beyond the edge of the board so that a small triangle of fabric remains. Repeat this for all 4 corners. Next, trim the fabric along the short edges. Begin slightly inward from the edge and angle outward to meet the point of your corner cut. Repeat this on all sides. Now fold the calico up over the short edges, tucking the small fabric triangles inward as if wrapping a present. Apply glue and pins using the same angled method as before. Leave to dry completely, then trim away any excess calico. Place your embroidery over the prepared board and measure carefully to ensure it's centered and straight. Insert a pin through the fabric and into the board at the center of each edge to hold it in place. Then continue placing pins around all sides, gently pulling the fabric taut as you work. Be sure the fabric remains straight on the grain. You should be able to follow the grain line along the edge of the board. Start by placing pins every 2 to 4 centimeters to establish your positioning. Remember that stretching the fabric will affect the placement of the design, so take your time adjusting tension and alignment. Once you're satisfied, go around again, adding more pins and pulling the embroidery as tight as possible. Fold in each corner neatly and pin to create sharp square corners. Fold up each side and pin using the same 45-degree angling method to maintain tension. The folds at the corners should join to form a clean 45-degree angle seam. Create a thread guard from a piece of paper. Fold several centimeters along one long and one short edge and secure with tape. Slide this guard over the pins at the board's edge. This prevents your working thread from catching on the pins. Using strong thread such as a buttonhole or a cotton perle, stitch the corners in place. Begin with 3 buttonhole stitches in place to secure the end. Then slip stitch the folded fabric together down to the corner. Travel the thread back to the starting point and finish with 3 more buttonhole stitches. Repeat for all 4 corners. Secure the thread with 3 buttonhole stitches, catching both the embroidery fabric and the calico beneath. Work a herringbone stitch using a curved needle around the unglued border of the board. Make sure the stitches overlap slightly so there are no unsecured areas, and ensure that you're picking up both the embroidered fabric and the calico. Use a mellor to tighten the stitches as needed. When you reach the end of your thread, secure it with 3 buttonhole stitches. Continue until the entire edge is stitched. Once complete, remove all pins and check the tension from the front. The fabric should be smooth and taut. If you notice puckering on the front, the embroidery may need additional tension. From the back, lace across the board, stitching back and forth while picking up only the embroidery fabric, not the calico. Keep the thread attached to the spool, as you'll need a long length. Once you have stitched across the entire back, secure one end in a corner with 3 buttonhole stitches. Gradually tighten lacing to increase tension. Check the front frequently. Once the fabric is tightened enough, secure the other end in the same way. If necessary, add lacing in the opposite direction. The rebate is the final step and the last line of defence in the mounting process. If the glue or stitching ever fails, this will keep the embroidery in place. Cut a piece of calico with a 5cm border all the way around the board. Fold the fabric along one long edge and position so it sits a few millimetres in from the board's edge. Pin at the centre. Repeat on the opposite side, inserting pins using the 45-degree angle method to create tension. Then repeat for the remaining sides, tucking folds neatly under. Place pins approximately every 3 cm around the board. Using a curved needle and a strong thread, slip stitch the calico to the embroidered fabric all the way around. At the corners, stitch across the corner rather than directly into the point to maintain the shape. Secure the thread at the end and you've finished mounting your embroidery.